Let's try that again. We totally just didn't fucking film 10 minutes of this show.
12 minutes. Yeah.
Don't gas it, Let's just keep it at 10. It makes it less painful.
Guys, we struggle real hard out here, but
welcome to the Joystick Show. This is the first and only time I've said that today.
Yeah, not the only time.
Episode 67. Make sure to go ahead and like. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Just do the YouTube stuff. I've already said this too many times. Click the bell. Watch other videos.
Later, I'll force you to comment something at gunpoint.
Yep. Yeah. Through the TV monitor.
At Super Soaker Point. We can't mention violence.
No violence. Like the
terms of service.
The Apple emoji. It's not a real gun anymore. It's one of those little dollar squirt guns. Yeah.
It's a hold up.
I'm not gonna lie, we talked about like Tiger Woods and the Mets.
Honestly, I'm so happy that the technical difficulties happened.
Yeah.
In reality, because then also you had a phone call and there was a couple of other things.
There was a lot that went on.
I was like, you know what? Maybe it's good.
Good that maybe it was a sign.
Yeah.
Specifically a sign from that camera that said that the SD card stopped working. Thankfully Dylan caught that.
Yeah. I was like, there's a giant. It was like
an alert.
It was like a 2-sentence alert too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is an issue.
Oh man, that reminds me of funny story. I don't know why it threw me back there, but shout outs to Mikey, huge time viewer of the Joystick Show, huge time commenter and supporter. Back in the day, Jerry, Joey, and I used to be part of a youth movement that Mikey was also a big part of, and we had to do what was called a plegaria. And it's like a big kind of, it's like a performance almost. And it was always themed. And it's basically you do it for like other churches, and it's supposed to be like uplifting and,
I feel like we've talked about this before.
But point is our theme was Captain Planet. So we had to do a bunch of Captain Planet themed content. I remember we had Captain Planet shirts. Me, Dylan, and Jerry. Not Dylan. Me, Joey, and Jerry still have
I could be part of the youth group in
fucking
insert me into all of the.
I'll Photoshop you in with your own Captain Planet shirt. But no, me, Joey, Jerry, and the other people who did it all had them. But the reason I'm bringing it up is, you ever seen Captain Planet, the old cartoons? Remember they used to have like little PSAs almost.
Okay.
It'd be like, remember kids, like almost like the old G.I. Joe shit.
Yeah, like hey, recycle. All
exactly.
That shit, yeah.
So we were gonna film some of those to put in the plegaria, and I was the film guy, so I got the opportunity to do it. And I remember we all got
flex your chops.
Yeah, right. And
I got this. Guys.
I remember I had all my equipment ready to go. And we got to Joey's house and we were ready to record. And I put everything together. And the SD card gave me that same exact message. It was like, this SD card is not fast enough to record footage on. Wow. So I had like nothing to record footage on. I remember it was like a whole huge freaking like. I felt bad because like everybody was there and we had this whole thing planned. I remember I had to like call my mom. She had to go look through all my other SD cards to find the right one, and then she had to drive over and bring it. Fucking crazy. But ever since then, I'm very aware of like SD cards and like making sure they're fast enough. Yeah. Can't just buy any generic shit.
You gotta make sure.
And that's a SanDisk too, so there's no fucking excuse. I might just be old. I don't know.
Fucking fraying SD card.
Maybe I don't know how that shit works. I'm not good with that. I'm the old head that's just like blow on it and see if it fucking works again. What have you been up to, homie?
So I've just been I bought some Islanders tickets, bought some sporting events.
'Cause you're an island boy.
Yeah, yep. And I got my brother Nets tickets for his birthday. So getting deep into the sporting events,
What tickets did you get him?
What?
Did you get like for what game?
I don't remember. I gotta look through.
Okay, continue.
I bought a lot of tickets, man.
Go ahead.
I thought you were mad at me.
No.
Yeah, I felt some intensity in your eyes.
I was just curious.
What game? Yeah, and going to like 4 or 5 hockey games too. And as I was looking through all the sports, there's a lot of sports news going on. Firstly, a hockey player bit another hocky player in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
in the middle of the game, and you see like the marks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it was intense.
On the arm or?
Yeah. And by far one of the funniest post-game interviews I've ever seen in my life.
Uh-huh.
So, like, the guy who got bit, obviously, they interview him first.
Okay.
Immediately after the game. And then he's like, he prefaces the interview. He's like, I'm going to say this, but I'm only going to say this once. And he proceeds to go on a 5-paragraph essay about how horrible of a guy that the guy who bit him is.
Yeah.
His name is Braden Lemieux. And he just went on. He was like, this guy is horrible. No one wants to play with him. Every year he's like, please let me play with you. And we let him play.
It's like the
and he's
smelly kid in school.
Yeah. And he literally goes, he's like, he's just horrible. He's stupid. Kids don't even do this. I asked a child if they would bite someone. They said no. But this is right after the game.
Yeah.
As a child. He's like, no one does this. You know who does this? Fucking babies. This guy's a baby. He sucks. He's a bad guy. And like as it went on, the insults didn't get worse. They got simpler.
Yeah.
They were just like, he's just straight up awful, bad guy, bad person, bad move.
Bad.
Yeah, just legit, yeah. And it just boils down. I'm like, damn, he really bit a guy.
Yeah.
And this is just like an overall, like, there's like a huge like unhorde of like hockey news where it's like there's this another video that came out where it's on the new team, they got a guy on Seattle. He went to a ref and he just kept saying, he was just on the, and it was hot mic'd, and he was just like, fuck you. And he just kept saying fuck you to the ref like 5 times, and then the other ref, and he's like French Canadian, he's like fuck you. And it's just like, apparently all the refs just curse back at the players and it's okay.
What the hell?
And it's like on one hand it's like you can't get that mad at it, but also it's like imagine going to work and just people yelling fuck you and you're like,
hockey's such a fucking like man sport.
yeah.
Like,
they allow fighting, like it's just
insane.
completely everything's okay.
Somebody tried to bite somebody in the NBA, they'd be like fined $1 million.
They would literally be suspended for the rest of the season.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. NHL, it's like 5 games, you get a fine, it's whatever, don't do it again.
Even if you're a bad, awful, bad,
and they find
just an awful, no one wants to play with him person.
And they had Gilbert Godfrey read the whole thing. It's like a 3-minute video.
Just start with that, Dylan. That's incredible. Then I could have been envisioning that whole paragraph without some like blonde guy.
He's a bad guy.
It would have been Gilbert Goff. He's awful.
Yeah, literally, and he mispronounces, and he's like Brady Tukachuk. Like he just mispronounces all of the names. It's the best.
Affleck.
Yeah, it's a 3-minute video because it takes a while for him to get through.
On the topic of sports, did you see? It's like a viral video that's trending around now. I actually saw it on a news, like a news Snapchat thing. When I first saw it, it's a video from like it looks like a high school basketball game, and all the 2 teams are like lining up to dap each other up after the game, and then like 3 dabs in, one kid just winds up like literally liver shots a kid in the stomach and then sucker punches him in the face and knocks him out cold, and then all the other like kids come in to break up the fight, but it comes out of fucking nowhere. The kid is knocked out cold. Like he lays him out.
Yeah.
So I remember I was like, I was reading it. Apparently, the kid is going to be charged with like assault or something like that.
Yeah, that's serious,
it's the whole fucking thing. I was like,
Yeah.
and it's violent as hell too. It comes out of nowhere. You just think it's all going to be like respectful, and then bah, knocks him out.
Oh, I like sports. I don't know. People. I mean, it's a competitive thing. I get why people get so heated, but like just some people, man, really just they get like a red mist. Like they get angry.
My favorite sports like anger moment of all time isn't even like that heated of a situation. Like you would think it's probably like the Pistons Pacers, like the Rumble, right? Or you would think it's maybe like the Don Zimmer egg roll fucking the bench clear against the Red Sox, right?
Yeah,
but
Red
my
Sox
favorite
Yankees.
is definitely the Isaiah Thomas situation where he runs into the stand. You know that I just wanted a Frosty video. That is by far my favorite. Just like the thought of like a fan like booing you, like yelling at you, telling you suck, this, that, and the other. And then Isaiah Thomas, NBA legend, runs up to you and he's like, "Why you doing that, man? The fuck, man? That's all messed up." And the guy's like, "Sorry, I just wanted a Frosty." Like, I just thought that was fucking hilarious. And to further that, the reason why I love that story so much is the first time I ever saw that video, they cut it off before he explains in the interview that, at the game he was playing, like if they scored under 100 points, then they get the fans get a free Frosty or something like that.
Oh, it's so important.
But when I watched the video, they cut that part out. So it's literally just Isaiah Thomas going, "So I ran up to him and he looked at me and he just said, 'cause I wanted a Frosty." And then it cuts. And I was so confused, but I quoted that video for like a year before I finally like sleuthed out the story.
But I wanted a Frosty.
Because he says it's so intense. Like it's not even a joke. Like he's like, "I wanted a Frosty." Like he just looks at the
it's like a really
he looks
dramatic movie.
Sad, yeah.
It's like a PTA movie. It's like really intense. You're like, bro, like,
oh my god.
Like I love those like sports moments like that. Like there's tons of clips of like MLB players going in for a catch in the stands and then just grabbing some nachos and eating it. And there's like 20 clips of that, just like grabbing the beef. Imagine you're eating food and the player just grabs the food and you're like, bro, like that's like $3 a chip, bro.
Yeah,
that's fucking costly.
Shit. You know where we are right now?
Oh, I love anger moments in sport, or like some of the minuscule ones. Like, do you remember the David Ortiz phone booth? The phone?
Is that the one where he destroys it? Yeah.
And like David, it's the same with like the situation of like the kid punching the other kid, where David Ortiz strikes out and he's angry, but David Ortiz is like a big big poppy. He's like a lovable fat guy, and you see him just go in the dugout. He's like about to put his bat down, and he just goes back in and he just takes about like 20 swings
with a payphone
at the little payphone in the dugout, and it's just to nothing. And actually, they gave him the team, they made like a replica trophy of the phone and gave it to him as a gift as he was retiring. And that's great. Like, that's
amazing.
But like, it didn't look like that though. Like, he hit that phone booth until it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, imagine ever break something
and
to
that's
the point
David
where
Ortiz.
Like, he broke something until he broke something out of existence.
Yep.
That's
that man
is
paid to swing. Like, it's kind of nuts.
Like, imagine running into that guy and it's like, damn, that door is literally impenetrable. And it's like, here's a wooden bat. You'd get through that door.
Fucking, I was going to say, speaking about heated sports, my dad and I went to a pretty heated basketball game. Yeah. In the, we mentioned before, we've been to a couple Nets games this season, but we went to one this week that definitely took the cake. We got to go see the Brooklyn Nets play the New York Knicks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was a ton of people I saw on, like, social media. And
no bullshit. And I told my dad, and he even was like, I don't know, Bobby. But I was like, I kind of get the feeling that there might be more Knicks fans in attendance than Nets fans
at the Barclays Center.
Yeah. And my dad was like, nah, Bob, I don't know about that. And then shortly after, James Harden went to go make a free throw.
Knicks is the New York team though, still, even with the Nets being good.
Shortly after, Harden went to go make a free throw, and I kid you not, it felt like 60 to 70% of the stadium was booing James Harden, and I was like, this is crazy. To further it, the section we were in, we were surrounded by Knicks fans. They were to our left, they were to our right, they were in the 2 rows behind us.
Incredible.
The only two people in our vicinity that were Nets fans was the guy directly in front of me and a guy like 5 seats down who started feeding off of the Knicks fans' energy and started like laughing in their face when the Nets started to win. Keep in mind, the Nets won by 2 points. So it was
my God.
Very, very close game. It was
down to been so
everybody
loud.
Was biting their nails. It was insane.
Crazy.
But point is, it was insane. Like, it was just really fun because it normally... when you go to like a sports game, you go and you watch them play against the team not from your area. That's kind of the whole gist. But when you live in a city like New York that has so many sports teams, you get the chance for the Subway Series, as they're called. So to be there for that was so cool. And I've actually been to an MLB Subway Series before. I had the chance to watch like a game 3 of the Mets versus the Yankees when I was like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
And this was low key way more fun than that.
Oh yeah.
It was just so much more hype. Ooh, it was good.
Especially when it's close like that. Like,
dude, it was like 110, 112. Ooh, I thought we were going to overtime for sure. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I was going to say something else about it. Oh, yeah, I lost my phone at that. I was fucking terrified.
How did you lose your phone?
I had it on my lap. Like, I keep it on. First of all, I never get service there, so I don't even know why I have my phone out. It's just mainly to take videos of my dad because I think it's funny to, like, videotape him when he's watching the Brooklyn Nets dancers.
Which, by the way, you have 2 videos that are exactly...
I have 4 videos now.
But literally, you have 2 videos that are shot for shot, essentially the same video.
I have 4 videos.
They're all the same?
They're all the same. 4 videos.
So this video, to explain, is just a video of Bobby zooming in on the Brooklyn Nets, which as they're called, which is a horrible but great name, of the Brooklyn Nets dancers. And then it cuts as Bobby pans left to Bobby's dad with the not matching expression.
Yeah. So the thing is like, if you watch it out of context, it kind of looks like my dad is like, like looking at the dancers, but he is genuinely like, he likes dancing and shit like that. So he's like, oh, that's a great routine and things like that. But I film it jokingly. It was like as if he's like super into them. But I know that I'll probably put it in the video so that you guys at home can see it, like while Dylan is seeing it. But look at this one, ready? It turns around. And he's filming it, bro. Like, I just thought that was great. Like,
That one's
that's
good.
that's the icing on the cake.
That one is like, he looks like a super fan though. In one of the other ones, it kind of looks like he's looking in like awe.
Yeah,
He's kind of like.
I'll put that one in too. There you go.
He's like, just zoom in on his face. Don't even put the whole video.
Put his face.
Just him intently looking at them. Yeah.
Oh man, that's like one of my favorite things about going to the Nets games. It's like low-key just the filler shit that they put in between the timeouts. And stuff
yeah. And the thing is that like they get like I don't know. Sometimes there's like actual celebrities, and then other times there's B-list celebrities.
Oh yeah, no, the game we went to, there was mad, stacked. Fucking Justin Tuck, this guy Meek Mill.
Well, that's Knicks. You gotta go.
Yeah,
that's like
Pete
exciting.
Davidson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the when they do it at the Mets games, because they don't tell you when they're gonna put up the famous person.
Yeah.
They just start playing a trailer from a movie from like 2000 and like last year, right?
Yeah.
And they start playing a trailer, and it's like, why are they playing the fucking Black Panther? And then they zoom in on him, and he's like, hey.
Were you at the game? I don't know if it was because we went to the Cavs game, but like a couple days after that, me and my dad went to a Magic game. Were you at the one where Dirk Nowitzki was there?
No.
We went to one where Dirk Nowitzki was there. The Brooklyn Nets do like a who's in the house, and then they show you like clips of the celebrities. And I'll never forget, they always show you like a clip of like something the celebrity has been in. So in this case, they started showing like all of Dirk. No, it started off with all of Steve Nash's highlights, but then he passes the ball to Dirk, and then it's all of his highlights, and everybody in the crowd was like, "No, no, what the fuck?" And then like the screen fades, and it's Dirk on the forecourt, and the entire crowd is like, "Dirk, oh my god!" Yo, it's so
Dirk
fucking hype,
great, man.
Oh,
Have you ever
the
seen,
legend.
what was it, Family Guy made fun of Dirk Nowitzki, was it? I think they made fun of him. Or was
How?
it South Park? I don't know. It was South Park or Family Guy, and they gave him like a thick German accent. Or he was like, he had like a really dumb accent. Like, it was like, oh man. You want to know a fun fact?
Sure.
You know how like they do like a lot of times at like games, they like honor veterans?
Yeah.
And like they'll be like, oh, this is our veteran of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The Army has to pay for that. In all 4 major sports. That is a paid expense to the stadium or the team.
That's annoying. What the fuck?
So the National Guard is like in accounting books is like marked as that. It's a marketing expense. Much like how Pepsi or
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't even just like throw it out there just for the, like
every single time.
So every time I see like an 80-year-old guy and they're our veteran of the
and
week.
This is our veteran of the week, and he waves.
This is the Army wrote out a fat cash check to fucking City
fucking
Field or
City
something.
Field, yeah.
That's fucking nuts. I didn't know that.
Every single. So when people say like, "Oh yeah, see this owner, he loves the troops," it's like they're getting paid for that shit. Like, that's not like, they're not doing that out of like.
Do you know like the thing about the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
That you have to pay to be on it?
Not only do you have to pay to be on it, I think you have to like in advance. You have to like, I think how it works is you have to like apply, and then I think people nominate you or something like that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
But you still have to pay like some ridiculous amount of money. I think it's like a 20,000, maybe more than that. It's a huge fucking expense.
Shit.
Damn, now I kind of want to look it up just to. How much does a Hollywood star cost? As of 2020, the fee is $50,000. So if you want a a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, you've got to pay $50,000.
I mean, if you're popular enough, you might that's nothing to you.
I mean, I would,
If you're
fuck it.
famous,
Have my
yeah.
handprints. You can walk on them for like forever. That'd be pretty cool. I think.
I can walk on my hands.
Oh no, that's the different thing. I'm thinking of fucking the China, what are the Chinese movie theater?
Oh yeah.
This is just the star with your name on it. Ooh,
exciting. Your point. It's like the bricks outside City Field. Have you seen that?
Are they like players?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm like, you could pay when the stadium was opening.
Mm-hmm.
You could pay to have a brick.
Oh.
And like there's a little brick, and my uncle has.
I just want to note that when we lost the original 10 minutes of the podcast, we were also talking about the Mets and City Field. Why is this? We're just always coming back to this. Is like.
Yeah. Well, I got cut out of when I was talking about it before.
No, but I just think it's funny that we keep like coming back to this weird central city.
Baseball.
You're just trying to hypnotize me into like going to a game with you or something.
Yeah. Well, I have tickets, so let's go.
But
But I noticed that we have an incense in the back, and you see the smoke like, slightly come up, and it actually looks pretty cool.
My dad left that for us. He was like, "You guys want some incense?" And none of us responded, so he just lit it, and then he went back upstairs.
But so basically there's mad drama going on in sports with the baseball owners.
Mm-hmm.
They just decided that they were like, hey, fuck the players. We're now going to have a lockout.
That's insane.
Yeah. They just decided, hey, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
But it led to, there was like some good that came from it. Like people actually signed contracts. It was very nice. Like last year and like the last few years, the baseball offseason, like no one would sign a contract.
Yeah.
And it would just go on for months, and finally teams were like, all right, I'll sign here.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in all the other sports, it's like free agency first day. LeBron's like, I might switch teams. I'm going to go here. And everyone's like jumping around and going to different teams.
Yeah.
So finally, for the first time in a while, now that happened and everyone had to get their deals in until December 1st, shit actually happened. There was like 30 trades. Everyone actually signed money. The Mets signed a guy, fucking Max Scherzer. They have the two different colored eyes. They signed him $45 million a year.
Fuck, holy
hell. They signed him. So now they have DeGrom and him.
That's insane.
Yeah, and they also signed 3 other players.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they spent way less money on that. But, yeah, like the Rangers spent $550 million in free agency, and they're in Texas.
So New York is just trying to. I think meant the hockey team.
But you know,
I was about to say all these fucking New York teams just assembling out here.
But now the Mets are gonna like again go for it or whatever, and the Mets owner goes to Twitter when he wants to like get he puts polls out and he like asks questions to the fans, and he literally put out a tweet before he signed all those contracts. He's like, I hate this player's agent. Some of the most unprofessional actions I've ever seen. And essentially what happened was there was a player by the name of Steven Matz who used to play on the Mets.
Uh-huh.
And now Steven Matz.
Yeah.
But he said he was going to sign with the Mets again and then last second switch teams. So now the owner was like, oh, I'm mad now. And it's like, oh, you made Steve angry, So it's like everyone's taking him.
Why does that name sound so familiar, Steven Matz?
He used to be on the Mets.
Didn't he do something silly? Wasn't he known for something funny?
No, he was good and then he was bad.
Okay. I don't know why that name is familiar to me. I don't know. I'm picturing a guy in a hat and not a baseball hat. Like a funny hat. I don't know why.
Steven Matz with the funny hats.
Steven Matz the hats guy,
I think he may have worn a funny hat. I think you're onto something.
You see?
There was one year where everyone had to dress up for Halloween.
Uh-huh.
And I remember Syndergaard dressed up like Thor because he had the blonde hair and
it's like
shit.
his nickname.
And I think Matz may have worn a funny hat.
Look at that. Yeah. You see, that might be where be where the thought process is coming from.
Where you're just making it up. It's a fucking made up thought.
You been doing anything for the holiday season? We're in the first week of December.
Oh yeah, shopping. That's all I gotta. You gotta
make a list.
Check it twice.
I said I was gonna do that, but
I'm just making sure I get it I gotta figure out who's important in my life. Every year. This is when I find out, because this is also you find out in November, but this is when I find out when people wish happy birthday to me.
Right.
So this is the most important part of the year, and I can take that, and then in the new year, just that's how I treat everybody.
Exactly.
It's based on how
did you wish me a happy birthday or not, and how sincere was it?
Yeah. I got an HBD from you. Not enough. Not enough in my books. Get the fuck out of here.
You got demoted.
I'm not expecting a paragraph, but I'm not only expecting a happy birthday. I'm expecting you to talk to me the next day.
No, I'm expecting you to write my name afterwards. Like, happy birthday, Bobby. You know what I mean?
You're
big difference.
You're 100% correct. Honestly, that with anything. If my doctor's talking to me and they're like, here, Dylan, I'm listening.
Yep.
But if you don't say my name, fuck you.
Right.
In any situation. It does not matter.
Make it unique to me.
Yeah. Like, you're talking to me right now.
We get one day a year. We don't even it's not even just ours. We share it for like literally hundreds of thousands of other people.
All right, now you're getting a little selfish.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's 8 billion people in the world. You ain't getting your own day.
No shit. That's the point I'm making, Dylan. I don't want my own day. I'm just saying, take the fucking time out to say the person's name.
Yeah.
What if like 6 people whose birthdays are on the same day? You got to make it specific. You got to say happy birthday, Dylan, and not happy birthday, random celebrity that was born on your birthday.
David Wright.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Mm-hmm.
You got to make the distinction.
Oh, yeah.
It's not your birthday. It's your birthday and David Wright's day.
David Wright. I mean, it's David Wright's birthday.
Again,
Fucking
the Mets. This is fucking crazy.
holy.
This is just the Mets show at this point. No, I was gonna say, I've been decorating for Christmas. I've actually been having a fucking blast with it. I mean, except last night I almost had a fucking panic attack. But no, I've been decorating for your fucking face.
But how'd you have a panic attack?
No, I'll get into it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should just explain this first. Did I ever tell you my Scantron story on the train? So, Betty's a teacher. And when we used to take the train home together when I used to work in the city, I used to help her by doing little, help, almost like secretary work. Like, I would just take little tasks that I could help alleviate for her, like grading math homework, things like that, right? The most part, it was exactly that. It was like grading math homework. And this is like second grade. So it's literally like you go through 8 problems and it's like 7 minus 4. And you do it really quickly and you check or no. And then you do a little score at the end. And it's fun because you get to play teacher, but you don't have to go through like 8 years of school and all that bullshit.
I mean, I guess.
But one day
sounds like free labor to me, but go on.
But one day, very true. One day, what's weird about me though is I secretly like this kind of stuff. Yeah. That's I used to be a film teacher. I'm returning to it, so there is a part of me that does like to educate.
And even it's
way.
easy. It's easy shit. Yeah.
But we were on the train back, and she gave me a different task this time. She handed me very similarly. It was like homework or something, but it had like 5 questions, and these little kids answered the 5 questions, like multiple choice questions, like A, B, C, D. But she handed me a pack of Scantrons, and my job was I had to take the answers that the questions put on the paper and just bubble them onto the Scantrons as if they did it because they didn't use the Scantrons. Yeah. I didn't have to write their name or anything like that. In fact, their names were already on them. I just had to go in and
bubble what they put.
Exactly.
Okay.
I do the bubbles.
Like
I'm maybe like, I'm like, do the bubble, flip the paper over, different Scantron. I keep doing it.
Did you fuck up?
Nope. I got 5 down, and I was like, okay, my foot started, wagging a little bit. I got like another 3 down, and I was like about to like get up and scream. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. My hands started to shake. I started to sweat. I got really uncomfortable, and like Betty started to notice it. Like it was just like I was just doing the same thing over and over again, and then at one point I was just like, what the fuck? So Betty was like, are you good? And I was like, I don't think so. She's like, all right, just give it. And I gave it to her, and I calmed down. And like it's something that we laugh about, but I think it was just something about like the repetitiveness of it, like just doing the same thing over and over again. It drove me fucking insane. Like I actually lost my shit a little bit. Yeah, it's not the first time it's happened, but it's the most notable time that's happened.
That's
to me.
Interesting.
And then yesterday, to a lesser extent, and the reason I said that, the Christmas decorating, my mom bought an LED strip because I gave her the idea to coat the outside of the window with the strip so you get like the colored glow on the inside. So it came in, and we were both really excited to set it up. But in setting it up, you have to deal with like the sticky tape side or whatever. That doesn't annoy me, but you have to keep in mind that I'm setting this up where there's already like 4 different strands of Christmas lights. So shit is getting tangled in everything. And it got to the point where like I got like halfway through and I like couldn't, and I was like I was short circuiting, and my mom noticed it. And the funny thing is my mom is my mom. Like, I've been living with her my entire life. There's no one who knows me better than her. So she automatically sees what's happening. She's like, Bobby, just take a break. And I'm like, no, I got this. And then it got to the point where I'm like ripping reindeer out of the fucking front window, and I'm like, get the shit out of here. I'm throwing it to the side. And my mom was like, just do your thing. And then I finally finished, and I took a real big deep breath, and I was like, I never want to do that ever again.
Bob, you gotta learn. You just take a breather, man.
I can't. There's just some things that fucking destroy me.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that like it's from the action, right? You're getting that result because you're doing the thing. Yeah. So stop doing the thing, and it will come like.
I know. Well, okay. In the case of the Scantron, I obviously stopped doing the thing.
Yeah, and then the lights, your mom knew what was up, and your mom was even like, "Hey, take a 5-minute break, and then go do it."
Except I didn't.
Yeah, and I have to do that too because my problem is I fucking manhandle everything. So I remember when I was like building my computer and building the dill cube.
Oh my god!
When something doesn't work right away, my thing is like I want to like just like shove it in there, but I'm like, I was like handling something like really finicky, especially when I was like building the dill cube shit, and I have to like insert wires and all this shit, and I can't fucking be rough with it. And even now, like I'll just like kick my PS5, like if it's like in my, because I keep it like next to my desk, and it was in my way, and I fucking kicked it, and I'm like, I paid like $600
Yeah,
for this shit.
you probably shouldn't put it in a place where it's fucking kickable.
But I did it on purpose, though. You understand? I didn't do it on accident. I moved it with my foot. You know?
Did you there's a difference between
yes, I moved
it, and then just fucking
so I moved it
paylaying that.
So the
shit.
reason that's why I say kick, because I moved it with my foot, but I moved it with enough force where it went like that.
Got it.
And I do that all the time with shit where it's like when I have to like move my monitor, I'll go in with like way too much force and just like
it'll do that wobbly shit. Nah, man.
And with my with my other monitor, it's not like there's no place to screw it in at the bottom. It's just kind of like pushed in. So one time I moved my monitor and I took the whole shit off of the stand and I was holding it with the wires. And I was like, and I just like put it back in the notch.
Jesus Christ, you need a new setup, bro.
No, it's good. It's firm. And I remember I went in with the wrong level. You know?
Okay.
Like I do that with like talking too. Like I'll be in like I remember I even did this one time. I was out to eat with Jose. Me and Jose went to out eat at a Chinese place.
I heard this story.
Beautiful
Jose
Chinese
told
spot.
me this story.
So we're eating at a Chinese place. It's beautiful. It's and this thing about this place. It's like really serene. There's Asian jazz on in the background, right?
Yeah. I'm just laughing because I'm listening to you, but then I'm also hearing Jose's interpretation of this story.
There's like calm fish in the background, right?
Yeah.
So me and Jose are having a full conversation, normal volume, but then we stop to eat.
Yeah.
And so we're eating some dumplings. Like we ordered a small amount because the real food comes out and it's a lot. Take a bite of the dumpling. Grossest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. Jose, this tastes like medicine, right? It's gross. We call the waiter over. The waiter, Steve, my fucking homie, the waiter, he worked there forever. He comes over. He's like, yes, hello. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, this is disgusting. And I say it full volume, and I don't say it like that. I'm like, I say like, oh, excuse me. This is this is really gross or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I say it like 9 out of 10 volume, and everyone in the restaurant immediately is like that, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. And I felt so bad, but I was like,
oh my god,
I do that all the time, like, and I think it's just because like my parents, especially my dad, was like really loud, like talking. And I'll do it like, and I'll just all the time. I'll just like I'll be in like class and I'll answer a question. I'll be like, yeah, and I'll be like, yeah. So the answer.
I gotta like bring it down.
Yeah, I'll stop.
I even notice it on the podcast sometimes. You'll jump 0 to 100 real fast.
And I'll do it without even like I have to like every conversation I have. I have to when I start talking, I have to remind myself like, okay, This is the correct volume.
Yeah.
And like I even tell people like if I'm ever like at like an outdoor party, I tell people I'm like if I get too loud, let me know, and I'll simmer down a little bit.
I remember when Jose was telling me the story. I think he told me like it tastes. He said that thing. He was like when the food came, it tasted almost like the thing they used to wipe the tables. So he was like, yeah, it didn't taste good. And then Dylan was like, hey, buddy, this isn't good. This is disgusting. And then Jose was like, after he left, Jose told you or something. He was like, bro, like, chill. And then you got mad red or really shy or whatever.
Yeah, I got nervous because I didn't, because I started the sentence way too loud.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, if you're at a restaurant and you're letting someone know that something's bad, I don't want to tell everyone.
Yeah.
I told everyone.
Man, I really hope I haven't told the story on the podcast already, but the me and Joey at Chili's story when he went through his first breakup. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite Joey stories ever.
Yeah.
Fucking
he told us.
Joey used to date this girl on and off like all 4 years of high school, and like the joke was they literally broke up like once a year. But I remember the first time they broke up was like a big deal, and I was trying to be a good friend, and I was like, buddy, I'm gonna take you out. We're gonna go get food. We're gonna go watch a movie. So we went to go eat
You're a good friend. You cheered him up.
Yeah, we went to Chili's and we had a good meal. It was good. I remember it was like the 2 for $20 shit. And then after we were done, our server was very, very sweet to us. Joey wanted to leave the tip, but Joey didn't really understand restaurant etiquette too well at the time. We're freshmen in high school. I don't really expect him to, but he didn't quite understand the concept that when you want to tip a waiter or a waitress, you can kind of just leave it on the table and they'll get it.
Yeah, you leave it on the table or you give it as you're paying immediately. Yeah.
Joey was insistent that this woman receive this tip.
Like she had
in her hand type of thing, right? Her name was Chaudier. Very exquisite, very unique name. I think you can picture what she looks like.
Can you repeat
Chaudier.
Chaudier.
I remember what it was. I take note of names. I make sure not to mispronounce them. It kind of went over Joey's head a little bit. Maybe he didn't quite understand her name is. So Joey is walking around the restaurant with about $6 in hand, going Chaudier, Chaudy, Chaudier. And I am literally like trying to find how I can get out of this Chili's fast enough.
I would have filmed. I was thinking, how quick did you fucking film
Oh,
it?
no. I was thinking, how quickly do I get the fuck out of here?
Shut
This is freshman year, like skinny, pale Joey, no facial hair.
Joey.
Yep. And like a little, like,
I'm imagining the blackest chili.
Yep. Uh-huh. Shawty. Oh my god, I love that story. And then we went to watch Captain America 1.
Did the Shawty get it though?
Yeah, Joey insisted that she get that too. She was very nice about it too. She was like, "Thank you, honey," and I was like, "Oh, Joey, I'm not eating with you anymore." I remember one time we no shocker, we've mentioned this many times on the show. Joey falls asleep everywhere, anytime. Just how it goes.
Yeah.
And we used to do a lot of church youth group stuff back in the day, where we would do. I think I mentioned that earlier too, where we would do. We would just have to go out to events, and some of the events we went to were really early in the morning. One of them in specific, we had to be up at like 6 in the morning, and we were done with it by like 7:30. So our ritual, like our thing we would do is we would go to IHOP afterwards and we'd eat breakfast.
That's a lot.
So I remember there's a really famous picture too. I actually have it not famous, but it's in our friend group. It's archived. I still have it, and it's Joey who knocked out at IHOP like 8 o'clock in the morning.
In IHOP.
He's at the corner seat of the table, and just like this, like his head is down, knocked the fuck out, practically drooling, right?
Oh my god!
So his dad, of all people, had the golden idea to get up and leave the IHOP. So we just like got up and left, and we just watched Joey from like outside of the window, kind of just like come to and be like, "The fuck!" Like get really panicky.
That's amazing.
Oh my god! On this
incredible.
I have a great story for you. I'm sorry. I'm just like
no. This is great. No, this is amazing.
This one's not about Joey. This one's about Joey's mom.
Fuck. Can we make it about Joey though? I like laughing at Joey.
Laughing at Joey. Yeah. This one's hilarious. You know Armando, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Armando. Haven't seen my boy in a bit. We had a big party at Yvette's and Joey's house one time, super long time ago. I'm talking like there were probably over 40 people in this house. That's how stacked it was. It was in the old days where like everybody was going to youth group.
Yeah.
At one point, Armando picked up a candy. I think it was like a Charleston chew, some like little piece of shit candy, right? Wrapped up or whatever. And he went to every single person at that party, myself included, and told them, I am going to do a magic trick where I put my hand over this candy and I'm going to make it disappear. But when I lift my hand, it's very obviously still going to be there. So I need you to pretend that it's gone.
Okay.
He went and told this to about 35 people at this party. The one person he didn't tell this to was Yvette. So at one point...
This is pure. This is classic
comedy. At one point, Armando gets the attention. He's like, hey, everybody get together. I got a magic trick to show you, right? And everybody's in on it at this point. So we're all like, the party stops to watch Armando's magic trick in the living room. He puts the candy on the floor. He's like, watch this. I'm going to make it disappear. Puts his hand over the candy. Raises his hand.
Everyone.
And the craziest part was everyone sold that shit, Dylan. It was insane. It wasn't even like nobody, like, people...
half-assed it.
No, people were genuinely like, Armando, bro, what the fuck? Some people were like, what the fuck? Like, everybody played their part perfectly. And Yvette was so confused. At first, she was just kind of like, what the fuck? Get out of here, right? And she was like, what the hell? He's like, watch. He puts his hand back. Boom. And everybody's like, how'd you put it back? What the fuck? He did it like maybe twice. No bullshit. Yvette started to cry.
Oh my god.
She thought she was like legitimately going crazy, and that's when Armando had to be like, no, it's like a joke. You know what I mean? But for those first like 2 minutes, it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever been a part of, because we were all just like looking at each other like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? How's this working kind of thing? But yo, I'll never forget that. I brought it up to her like a little while ago because I completely forgot about it, and she was like, "Yo, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was genuinely terrified. I thought I was."
Works on some people, man.
Oh yeah, I think it's the idea of like everybody's in on it except you. So it's like when you see those videos of people tripping over air, you know, and then you have like the people like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on?" I love shit like that though.
I mean, it makes sense, but nowadays it's like I think I'm just so used to people fucking with me. I think it depends if you lived with people that fucked with you.
That's true.
Because if you
had siblings,
I had my brother growing up. I've had people prank me before.
Yeah.
If you had shit done to you before, like you'll shit will get you for like a split second, and then you'll be like, you're trying to.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like even like when people prank call me and like they try to get me. There's another. I have another story. I think it happened at your house. So. One time, me, Jose, slept over here, and Jose had the bright idea to write something on my face with marker.
Okay.
I don't remember what he did, but he drew several things on my face with marker. He woke up at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m.
I remember this.
And he on one side he drew like a dick,
yeah,
and on the other side he wrote something.
Yep.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember either, but I do remember.
But anyways,
this.
I am much like Bobby in that it takes me a while to wake up in the morning.
Yep.
So immediately Jose draws on my face, and like he does like the big reveal. He's like, "Oh, but something on your face, right?" So I open my phone, open my front camera. I see I have like a dick on my face and other shit, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I start like texting people, and Jose looks. He's like, "Yeah, I got you." he's like, "You should probably go wash that off." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it in like I'll do it in like 20 minutes." And I put my head down to go back to bed, and Jose's like, "You're not gonna go clean that?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, I was gonna go do it in like 20 minutes, and he's like, "I'm gonna go get you a towel." And he goes like and gets like a towel with like soap
for you,
and I'm like. Damn, like that prank really didn't work, man.
You really got me with that one.
It really got me. As I sit there, like, very calmly, and like, and the thing, I think, what in reality, I was also like kind of mad, and I didn't want to like get mad, and so of course,
you just kind of like downplay it a little bit.
So I downplayed it on that level, but at the same time, I was like, I'm gonna make him feel bad. And it worked.
I wouldn't necessarily mind if somebody wrote on my face. Keep in mind, this isn't an invitation to do that. I don't know if anybody's watching this is now like, haha. Like,
I have access to Bobby's house at night. I can go into
No, but like I feel like at least have the common decency to do it with like a washable marker, you know, like a dry erase marker. Don't fucking Sharpie my face with a huge dick. Like that's rough.
And that took a while to get off too. And I was like, I did it later, and I was like, I had to scrub, man. Like, fuck that.
It's like when they X your hands at the bars before you're 21.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fucking throwback. I'm about to do that when I go to a concert. Be like, hey,
don't talk to me. I'm a little boy.
I'd get a drink if I could.
But I'm too small.
You get into a fight, you're like, well,
I'm a little boy.
You're at like a metalcore show.
I'm just a child.
They're at a metalcore show. They're like, we don't fucking care. And they just fucking punch you. This is how you learn. They throw you off the stage into the pit. They're like, ah, you go, you fucking little kid.
Oh, man. I'm imagining the video of the show you showed me where the guy's just fucking front flipping on his back.
Oh, turnstile. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, man. These concerts are nuts, man.
Oh, my God. Last concert I went to, Joey made a good friend.
Really?
So I have a.
Oh, didn't we talk about this?
Yeah.
The big guy, right?
No. So I have a trend of like talking to people at concerts, and then they start talking to all of us. And then I walk away.
I hold on. Continue.
So there was a guy who like I was talking about how I wanted to go to a turnstile show, and this guy styled towards us, and he's like, "You guys talking about turnstile?" I went to that show, and he's like already fucked up. The show didn't even start yet. This guy's drunk as hell. And he starts talking to all of us, but he starts becoming like a shoving buddy with Joey.
Yeah.
And I just start and I just like it's like and Joey's talking to this guy for like 10 minutes and Joey's like too much of a bitch to like end the conversation. So he has a full conversation with this guy and I'm so fucking glad Joey's with me so I didn't have to talk to Mike and his like fucking friends.
That's what his name was. Yeah.
And he had like woman too. I was like, oh, Mike, good for you. Like,
I was gonna say no. I've definitely noticed out of all of us, whenever we're like in public, you're definitely like the best social person out of the group.
Me?
Yeah. Easily.
Interesting.
Like I've noticed,
I used to not be.
You definitely, and you know what's funny? My mom brings this up a bunch of times. She's always no, she does, but like secretly.
Oh, bro, I'm bringing that up at like.
No, yeah, she says the thing she always says about you is she's like, I love Dylan. He has come so far. The thing she says in specific is she's like, when Dylan used to visit, he never said bye to me.
Yeah, I used to Irish exit.
Dylan would just be like bye and would leave.
I would say bye. I would either just leave or say bye to everyone and just poof.
Yeah. So then at one point, like Dylan actually started like hugging my mom and kissing her goodbye, and that's when my mom was like actually like, oh, you know what I mean? Like he's finally saying it. So now she's like, Dylan's like my son now. But I know when Dylan first came here, it was very aloof and things like that. But especially as like the years have gone on, I've noticed we'll just be like in certain situations out and about, and it's never like you go out of your way, but somebody will probably say something to us, and you're immediately like the one that's just like, yeah, you'll have like a full conversation.
Yeah, and
with
I'll
them.
be the first to
talk. And I always notice it. I'm like, this motherfucker, like, he's smooth with it.
Yeah.
Joey's like that too, but you're better at like. Joey does it in like a more nicey kind of like, you could tell Joey doesn't want to talk to the person. He's just kind of like, he's
trying to relate.
Yeah, like, exactly. He'll just agree and this, that, and the other. You'll actually kind of like, you'll play their game for a little bit. You'll talk to them.
Yeah. I'll break out a conversation.
Exactly. You don't have to fucking, linked with them the whole time. But you give.
I mean, that's what I get for being with my minor in communications.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like that too. I don't know if part of that is that we do a show or we just talk for.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped.
Yeah.
I think for sure that talking for 50 minutes to an hour
every week.
Yeah, I think that helps for sure. But also, I think I don't know. There's a lot of power in just like talking to people. Like when I was younger, I didn't realize like not only the goodbye thing, but just general like manners and being courteous. I didn't realize how much that goes for you.
Yeah.
Because it's like you don't need to go out of your way for anybody, or you don't need to like say thank you or hold doors or whatever.
But it goes.
It definitely benefits you. It's not a negative. It's always a positive.
A second to cut away from the jokes and all that stuff. Manners are so fucking important.
Oh yeah, respect. Yeah, and even then, like, I'm not saying like you have to like go around respecting every elder, but like especially like you learn.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like,
respect people.
You might get a different interpretation of who I am because chances are there is a chance that you're watching the show and you don't know me personally, right? You might think that I'm just kind of brash or jokester or whatever like that. But I think it's fair to say I'm a very polite person, especially in a lot of situations. But what's funny is, like, especially when I travel, anybody who talks to me about any step of the way, whether it's the baggage woman or the person who helps check me in at the flight or the person at the front desk or whoever, the pilot, I'm always like, thank you so much. Have a great night. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. This, that, and the other. Da-da-da. Have a great night. Whatever. Bede will always be like, it shocks me how nice you are sometimes. And I'm like, half the time I'm not even doing it to be nice. I'm just doing it because, like, if I'm an asshole, they're not going to help me. You know what I mean?
That's what you do.
Exactly.
It's like kind of, I mean, I guess it's just like, that's like, I don't know if that's like just what my parents taught me, but it's like.
It's not even that. Like, I'm not trying to say she's not nice. Obviously, she is very nice. But it's also like a patience thing. I think it's mainly that in my head, it's like, I'm not doing it as much to be a nice person as much as I'm doing it because I don't want to deal with the consequences if I don't do it.
Yeah.
Like if I give you an attitude or if I even forget to say it, who knows what the other end of that is going to be. Are you going to fuck up my bag? You're going to be a dick to me.
Especially, like, you're in a plane for 3.5 hours with these people.
Exactly.
Like, you should be nice to them.
And don't get me wrong. The second somebody does not reciprocate it and like in an obvious way where they're not like in a happy.
That's it. You don't get it anymore. Yeah.
Not even that. I'm just an asshole at that point. I'm gonna further this as much as I can. I will egg you on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm not a nice person though. Like I will further this. I want to fight you, verbally, not physically. I got some sick comebacks. That reminds me. Ever seen Have you seen the video of the guy on the New York City bus when it's like stuck in traffic?
Oh, I love that.
That's the old lady. The old lady. She's
We're
like,
all on this bus.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm gonna be late to work. And he's like, shut up. We're all gonna be late to work.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I'm also more courteous to people depending on what situation they're in. I'm very aware of like what job they're working.
Yep,
Like if their job is shitty and they have to deal with people all day.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be the shitty one.
Yep.
Like, and I know that like even then I don't have to be overboard nice. Because there's so many people that are shitty. They they think they're the center of attention. Mm-hmm. They think, oh, well, you're treating me differently. Like they have a chip on their shoulder. Like, no, I'm not gonna give you a hard time.
Yeah. So manners, they maketh man. Heard that in Kingsman.
And woman.
And man. Yeah. I wasn't talking about guys. I was talking about like the species.
Human.
There you go. Human. Manners maketh human.
What is whew?
Fucking just try to fill in like 5 minutes.
How'd you I mean, we don't really have much to fill. How'd you celebrate your national holiday?
What's my national holiday?
It's well, firstly I would like to say that like all of these other companies in the world, especially internet-based companies, have had the hardest time spying on people. And getting information from people.
I'm so lost. Where are we right now?
So, like, if Facebook wanted to say, hey, we've been tracking you this whole time, and here's all of the information we gathered from you, you'd be like, hey, what the fuck? You're spying on me. But if you have a music listening app...
That shit took me like 5 years to get that one. Holy hell.
Which takes music that you've listened to and tells you what exactly you've been listening to. Mm-hmm. It's the best shit ever.
It is the best
And I think it's because it's more interactive and you listen to shit on Spotify. But yeah, December 1st, it's everyone's Spotify Wrapped.
Yep. Which it's funny. I was talking to my mom about it, and I was explaining to her. I was like, "This is like a holiday for Dylan and I. We always like."
It's a holiday for most people now. It's very important. Unless you use fucking Tidal or some shit.
It's just a really cool way to see like what you've been listening to over the year, like how much you've listened to. Right.
The sad thing for me personally is that I have a good enough memory that when it tells me I did something, I'm like, yeah, I remember doing that. Mm-hmm. Like I remember now it told you like what song was like what was like the weirdest thing you listened to. There was another one that was like, this is the song you binge listened to.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm like, I remember that night. I listened to that song 8 times that night. I remember that.
So I actually want to bust mine out.
Yeah.
And ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To see what you can gather. Let me make sure to mute it real quick. See, before I get caught with that DMC. Me or hate me. It wasn't that song. No, but let's. You know what I didn't really like? You know how it starts off where it's like your life is a movie. When it opens, it plays this song. I was like, no, it fucking doesn't. You know why? Because my life is not a movie. It's like
I have several songs about how life is not like a movie.
Yeah. So. Wow, that's kind of hilarious actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you have songs about. Wait, what?
Well, I have there's a lot of song like the front bottoms have a song where it's like, oh, it's not like a movie when we kiss.
Oh, okay.
And like other shit like movies.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's funny because
the obvious.
I don't know why I had to fucking go back to that.
you had to explain why what I said made sense.
All right. Try to take a guess. Ballpark it. How many minutes did I spend listening to music this year?
Minutes.
I'll give you 3 guesses, and I'll tell you if it's higher or lower. Go ahead.
8,000.
Higher.
14,000.
Higher.
Okay, this is minutes. I gotta. 33,300.
Lower. I'll give you one more. 26,539 minutes.
Crazy. Do I have more?
It was more than 79% of other listeners.
That is insane.
I wanted to ask you specifically your genres. That's what I was most inquisitive about.
I had that. Mine made the most amount of sense, I think.
Was hyperpop number 1?
Hyperpop was number 2, I believe. I want to get to it so I can give you the definitive top 5.
How many genres did you listen to this year? That's what I was curious about. I think you probably have me beat in there.
I'm just gonna open the shit, right?
It's on this one.
Which panel?
After your vibe check panel, when it tries to show you your mood.
Oh yeah.
It'll say like that. You always understood the assignment, and you kind of yeah.
Cool. Let's wait through this shit. Apparently, I was reading a news article that like the intern 90. My intern was like this intern made the template and didn't get credit for it or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they were like intern and like they didn't get
got you on that one.
You got me.
127
Yeah,
genres.
my genres are emo rap, hyper pop, pop punk, underground rap, funk.
Oh, I didn't know what funk was. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Apparently, you listen to a lot of it though. A lot of funk. Yeah. My top 5 genres were emo, alternative hip hop, dance pop, dark trap, and modern rock.
Ooh, dark trap.
Dark trap. I don't know what that is, but apparently I like it.
Oh, funk is it's like it's like yeah, but it's like Memphis, like Midwest. So like Suicide Boys and other. I mean, honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, I listen to a lot of funk.
Well, yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's right.
You're hooked on Funkix.
Oh shit.
Get it?
Listen to 1,183 different artists for me.
How many?
1,183.
I think my number was shockingly close to that, actually. Now I kind of want to go back. I think it was also in the 1,100 range. What was it? 1,183?
Yeah.
Damn, let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, nope. And then we can
go. So, yeah, very cool. Out of my top 5 artists.
Oh, I had 1,500 artists.
Ooh, nice. Sorry. Out of my top 5 artists this year, I saw 4 of them live.
That was cool. I was said like, that. That's pretty hype.
That actually made me exciting, and I think one of them, Deep October, who was number 2 for me, doesn't tour really. So
not only that, you got to see them like in an era where nobody got to see any of their favorite artists, which is kind of sick.
Everyone made sure to. I mean, I'm happy we live in New York, you know.
No, yeah. And I'm not trying to make it sound like you fucking, were with a bunch of people.
I was on a plane for 5 hours.
But it was definitely one of like the first shows like in the city where like, the vaccination mandate came out and you could actually go.
Yeah. And it was just great because it's like, because it was so long, people almost like, they almost role played, It was kind of like, hey, let's pretend like we are going here in 2008, And that's fine. Do what you want to do, but. Yeah, I have a lot of. Do you want to guess my minutes listened?
Was it higher than mine?
It's lower than yours.
Gonna say 18,000.
Very, very, very close. You're 50 away. 17,952.
Wow, I think I should just get it. Round up.
48. You were 48 away.
48 minutes. Crazy.
That's one album you were off by.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Just a little more than an LP.
Are you going to pick a yam that's like on it already? Or
no, I was going to pick a different jam.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about it, but I think we should give like an honorary, just like a...
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Let me go to my top 100 playlist, which by the way, absolute, like this year more than any other year, is like the hottest shit.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it fire?
Because it's a lot of like 2021 songs too, So it's like actual like, oh, this is.
I mean, what's actually, I don't know if it's the same on your end, but what was cool that I noticed is like you go down the list of your top 100 and the majority of them are jams of the week, and you're like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. Yes.
I think that's why I didn't want to like pick one because
that's why I didn't want, because they've all been jam of the week.
I've already picked all of these.
I mean, like a shout out to Tension by Funeral because that was my number 1 song this year. Mm-hmm. But I guess I'll shout out. I don't even know.
Okay, I'm gonna give my.
I know what I'm gonna shout out.
I'm gonna shout out "Bad Luck" by The Story So Far. They're my number 1 artist, but that fucking song. When it goes off, it goes off, off.
I'm going to give a shout out to my number 7 song, just because I think it's really funny that it's on the list in the first place. I'm going to give a shout out to DTF by Super Mega.
Down to Fish. It's like a comedy rap song, but it's a banger, and it snuck its way into the top 10, just below Kendrick Lamar. Holy shit.
Just below, So if you ask me, like, my rapper tier list, it goes Super Mega, Kendrick.
We're the opposition, yeah.
But you ready for Jam Yam of the week?
I am.
I've been listening to some boom bap, some good old school rap. So my choice comes between 3 picks. I think I'm gonna give it to a Common song. Shout outs to Common.
It's a very uncommon choice.
I know, right? I'm gonna go with the song Resurrection. Very it's just a really awesome kind of like poetic wordplay kind of rap.
Oh, I thought it was about Easter.
No, it's just a jazzy old school hip hop song.
Pretty lame.
Common does a lot of really cool linguistic stuff with it, so yeah, gives me some like chill. Not Andre 3000, just in the sense that it's like lyrically kind of cool, but it's very chill. It's like us gathering, the but it all rhymes and it's cooler than me just fucking da 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 da. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
a lot of that going on.
Resurrection by
around here.
Common. That's jam of the week.
My yam of the week is da 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 da
Yeah.
by Bobby Rosario.
Thank you.
No, since Bobby, I'm gonna change mine. Since Bobby chose a older style rap song, I'm gonna choose a newer style rap song.
Look at that.
Which is hyper pop. I'm gonna pick a funeral song in honor of Bobby. Different Colors. I didn't know this, but on July 6th of this year, Funeral has like an 11 song album.
Oh shit.
And I didn't even know that.
That's crazy.
I only knew one song off of it.
Wild.
So I was listening to that this morning. Way too loud for the morning, but found one song. Different Colors.
Any songs sound like tension at all, or are they all kind of?
It's like a lot of like Halloween vibes.
Okay.
Like a lot of like twangly, like little like,
Interesting.
Yeah, I would say more heavier. Like there's a couple of songs where he has like screaming vocals. But yeah, good.
Nice.
This one's more like low key rap.
Just a funeral, man.
Yeah. Not dead.
Not
Alive.
Not the practice. The person.
Alive. Yeah.
The young person. Anyway, thanks for joining us for episode 67. Technically filmed 2 podcasts back to back today. an 11-minute podcast and then an hour-long one right after it.
Woof.
Right?
And we thought we didn't have anything.
We did a lot of work today. Look at that.
Yeah.
Fucking make sure to go ahead and like. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Make sure to click that bell. What are we commenting, Dylan?
What are your holiday plans?
Yeah, that's not a bad
tell
one.
us before we get into the thick of it.
Definitely, because we got some holiday plans of ourselves.
Hell yeah.
Trying not to talk about the Mets. Fuck. Just did. Just brought it back.
Fucking.
And without further ado, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the show. And good night. Or morning or afternoon. I don't know when you guys.
Cooking up some shit. Cooking up some new content. Check it out.